Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Media Boat Podcast, your weekly rundown where we talk about movies, TV, music, and video games, not necessarily in that order. My name is Mike. I swear that wasn't a cough, that was a chortle and a laugh. His name is Mike. His name is Matt.
Wow. Never, I think what we learned today is never tell a joke right before you hit record because it throws off the whole opening of the show. My name
Doesn't
is
it?
Matt. Yeah, my name is Matt, to be clear, and his name is Mike. This is the Media Boat Podcast, as he said. Today is August the 5th, 2025. Today is episode 498. That magic number is coming up, folks. But yeah.
I actually wrote down in my calendar yesterday saying this is episode 500. Cannot miss episode 500.
Mm, mm,
Circled
mm,
it.
mm, Circle it on the
Yes.
calendar, put it in highlighter, whatever you got to do. Be
Yep.
there, be square, as they say. But yeah, we got a show for y'all today.
Yes, this is the pre-penultimate show.
Yeah, although we're gonna throw off the numbers a little bit because we're actually gonna do a little bit of a bonus recording for you. We don't have time to do thoughts today, so as a programming note, Mike is gonna do a thoughts podcast by itself tomorrow. So expect that in your
Yes,
same feed.
due to my scheduling and not being here last week, I
Right.
just keep accumulating thoughts and thoughts and thoughts.
Yeah,
So
turns out.
I'll have some thoughts that I'll talk about here, but majority of my thoughts will be in a half episode,
Okay.
another recording.
Okay. I might
Okay.
have some thoughts next week.
Okay.
We'll see. I'll talk about that in the movie section. But for now, let's go into the show.
Yes, because we've got a show to do. So let's start with the music section. Start the music section with the Billboard. Start the Billboard with the Hot 100. And the hottest song in the land is still Ordinary by Alex Warren.
Hmm.
At two is Golden by Huntrix. Uh, those K-pop anime stars. At three, What I Want, Morgan Wallen. But also featuring Tate McRae. Coming in at four, Daisies by Justin Bieber, off of that album. I guess
Hmm.
people are listening to
Hmm.
that thing. Uh, and right, your top five, Just in Case by Morgan Wallen.
Yep.
As for your Billboard chart, your Billboard 200, your albums chart, at number one is The Problem himself, Morgan Wallen.
Yep.
At two is K-pop Demon Hunters, the soundtrack by maybe your favorite various artists. Coming in at three, The Star Chapter, Together by Tomorrow Cross Together. At four, Don't Tap the Glass
Don't
by
do it.
Tyler, the creator. And right, your top five is Swag by Justin Bieber.
Yeah, really, the only new additions here this week are the Tomorrow Together album, and also we see Tyler, the Creator's record, charting this week
Mhm.
after its surprise release last week. Um, so yeah.
Yep. And it's kind of funny parody where the Hot 100 and the Billboard 200, the Golden Huntrix, both at number twos.
Yeah, moving steadily moving up. We might have a number one for that film soon. We'll see.
Possibly, but we'll talk about that in a bit here. But first, if you didn't like any of those albums, we do have new releases,
The newest.
starting with When I Paint My Masterpiece by Ada Lee, Black Star by Amere, Anyway by Amaguchi. Or sorry, that's Anamanaguchi. I've seen that
Yes.
name before.
Yes, you have.
There's also Pressing Forward by Big Free Dia, Dollar a Day by Charlie Crockett, Willoughby Tucker, I'll Always Love You by Ethel
Mhm.
Kane,
Yep.
Surrender Instead by Field Medic, Motel du Cap by Good Charlotte. Yes, that Good Charlotte.
Yeah, that good Charlotte, believe it or not.
Everest by Hailstorm, God Does Like Ugly by Jid. Uh, Greetings from Your Hometown by Jonas Brothers. Yes, those three Jonas
Yeah,
Brothers.
those Jonas Brothers.
Bugland by No Joy. Abomination revealed at last in all caps by OCs. We also have Lost Americana by MGK, and I believe that is Machine Gun Kelly himself,
It is, yeah. It looks like he's officially changed his name to that.
just to abbreviate it to MGK.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess if you don't want to be called Mr. Fox or Mr. Megan Fox. And lastly, No Rain, No Flowers by the Black Keys. Yes, all 16 of those Black Keys.
Yep, they're back again.
Yep. All right. Let's get into the music news, shall we? And we start with, oh, look at that. Another bummer story. Well, good bummer, bad
Yep.
bummer, we'll see. Because Justin Timberlake, after being railed on online media discourse for the past month, it feels like, has revealed that he has been diagnosed with Lyme disease and opened up about the struggles he's faced while on his Forget Tomorrow world tour, the one that was postponed when he was arrested. The singer posted a pair of Instagram stories detailing his diagnosis to coincide with the conclusion of his global tour. Fans recently noticed that Timberlake appeared sluggish and low energy during performances on the international leg of the trek, which he suggested was due to the nerve damage and fatigue he experienced from Lyme disease. Quote, I've been battling some health issues and was diagnosed with Lyme disease, which I don't say so you feel bad for me, but to shed some light on what I've been up against behind the scenes. If you've experienced this disease or know someone who has, then you're aware. Living with this can be relentlessly debilitating, both mentally and physically. Close quote. So it does bring to the question of how do you feel now, media, that you've been raking Justin Timberlake for his performance, saying, why am I paying money for this? And then this comes out.
I mean, it's a tough one, right? Like, it's very easy to see someone's appearance and performance level at an award show or something and not know what's going on behind the scenes. And, there's two schools of thought about that. You either want the artist to be transparent about what they're going through because you feel like you're owed something by them. There's also, the school of thought where it's like, oh no, I just want them to go out and perform for me and be a professional because that's what their job is. They're an entertainer. They're here to entertain me, and you kind of lose some of the humanity there. There's no real great way of doing this. The question I have is like, wow, why is it so common for performers to get Lyme disease? Why is that such a why is there a correlation there? It's so strange to me. Because maybe it just goes to show how common it has become. So yeah, for whatever reason, it definitely adds kind of a new dimension to what he's been going through. But again, that's no excuse for some of his behavior and some of his past comments. And it's like doesn't excuse. In no way are we saying this is excuses Justin Timberlake from everything. No, of course not. But it does act as a little bit of an explanation for his general appearance and demeanor lately. And I do sincerely hope that he, feels better and that he kind of conquers this stuff because it's got to be it sucks for anybody. Like it's a bad thing, especially if you do have a job that requires you to perform. It just kind of stops you.
Right. And it's nerve damage. It's fatigue. And it has Justin Timberlake, who goes out there and is known to move and perform, not just what most people consider like you just stand there and you sing. He's a performer. He's out there to move and dance. And we saw him, or at least, in these media clips being raked like, oh, he's lost it. He's old. Why is he still out here doing this? And people were brutal on those comments.
Yeah.
But like you said, you don't know the full story. Just what you see, it's what you get. And yes, he could have stopped. He could have walked away and be like, done what many artists do, which is just come up say I've been diagnosed with this. I can't perform the final leg. But Justin Timberlake, being a man who wants to perform and perform for his fans, pushes through it. So to give him credit
Yeah.
that yes, he does still want to be out there performing and doesn't want to feel like people let people down.
Hmm.
But on the flip side of that, fans do feel let down when you don't give it your all. So there is, like you said, there's no right answer to navigate here.
Yeah, ultimately, it goes back to that question about like how much pressure do we put on these celebrities and
Mhm.
entertainers? And yeah, it's a great deal, and you're either built for that or you're not. But I do kind of like that we're in this era where there is some transparency there, and it we can't have artists talking about this because I think it opens up a conversation for people to talk to each other about it. And if you have Lyme disease, it's very cool to see that kind of conversation happen on a big scale. So yeah, I don't know. It's not the most exciting music story that I could have put this week. I could have easily put the fact that apparently Chapel Roan says that she's not sure if she's going to put out an album for at least quote 5 more years unquote, which is a fun thing to think about. How long of a wait we're gonna have to wait for that?
Oh,
But
she's
shows
pulling
how
an
much money.
avatar. Got it.
Yeah, she's pulling an Avatar. You have to wait for a Chapel Roan album. Not to say that we won't get singles, because she was also in the news this week by releasing The Subway, finally in its official form. There's a video out and everything, so check that out if you've been jonesing for more Chapel.
All right. Have you listened? Speaking of what you've been listening to, have you listened to
No,
anything yet?
not really. As you remember, last week was a very, very slow releases week,
Yes.
unlike this week where everything is coming out. So no, I've got nothing.
Well, because this week it technically counts as a end of summer release in August.
Yeah, yeah. So you're getting those dog days of summer releases coming this month. So
Yeah,
yeah,
because who wants to release stuff on the first? No, the eight is where it's at.
8-8.
Yep. All right. Let's go into video games where we have new releases,
Mm-hmm.
including Endless Legend 2 for the PC, Gradius Origins for the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, and the Switch, The House of the Dead 2, remake for the PC and the Switch, Ritual of Raven for the PC and the Switch. Next we have one of the fun ones to say, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba dash the Hinokami Chronicles 2 for the PC, PS5, PS4, and the Xbox Series X.
You nailed it.
And lastly, your big AAA title of the week is taking you way back to the old town road. I'm sorry, the old country,
Yeah.
specifically Mafia, the old country for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X.
Yep.
All right, let's get into the video game news. And
So yeah, I also had a choice to make this week with video game
yes,
stories. I could have gone in a different direction, but I chose this one because this is a special news story just for you.
I didn't believe it when I saw this. I
It's
thought,
real.
what? No. Then I
It's
thought,
very
then I
real.
saw that it was actually Fortnite because I didn't see that part. I thought, ah, I guess. Because Epic Games has released the next Fortnite chapter. Well, it's Fortnite Chapter 6, Season 4 trailer. You got to be specific on there because there's lots of different trade seasons and chapters. Where they revealed plans for their next collaboration. And it's Morphin time. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers collaboration is here. The Battle Royale's next season, titled Shock and Awesome, will see players battling a bug invasion on the Battle Royale's island. Quote, Where there's bugs on the loose, you know the Power Rangers will be there to squash them. Chapter 6, Season 4, Shockin' Awesome, launches Thursday, August 7th, 2025, according to Epic Statement. Quote, check out the Mighty Morphin Bundle when it hits the shop mid-August and includes the Red Ranger, Black Ranger, Pink Ranger, Yellow Ranger, and Blue Ranger outfits, plus accessories like the Go Go Power Rangers Redux Jam Track. Close quote.
Yeah.
Ah. Okay, so why are they doing bugs and not combining it with, say, Wreck-It Ralph or Super Troopers or any other myriad of like bug squashing media?
Okay.
Because like Ender's Game exists, and they could have done that.
Real quick. You said Super Troopers, you meant Starship Troopers.
Yes. Although to be fair, Super Troopers fighting bugs on their own is still pretty
I can see that.
awesome, and it adds to the shock value.
Anyway, yeah,
Although if they were
this
to bundle it, I bet they'd bundle it and call it Shenanigans Bundle.
maybe so. Of course, the question then is this the thing that gets you into Fortnite?
Me? No.
No, still
I'm
not worth
sorry.
a try.
If Dragon Ball Z couldn't get me back into Fortnite,
Uh,
if any other myriad of cartoons that they throw in there,
do you mean myriad?
no myriad,
What's a myriad?
like my rating of all these animalistic uh words that just come spilling out of my mouth.
Sure. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Didn't wasn't a satisfying answer, but it was an answer.
I mean, sometimes the answer is not for you.
Anyway,
Sometimes that just exists. It's an answer.
sometimes.
But yeah, no, I've this is not the thing to get me back into Fortnite. I don't know if there is such a thing to get me back into Fortnite. I
Fair
don't know
enough.
if that actually exists. But to be fair, if we're going according to the timeline, we should see Thor playing Fortnite with the Shock and Awesome Battle Pass because that is when Endgame officially takes place, which is 5 years after the blip, which is where we're currently at.
You thought about this too much.
Maybe a hair. But yeah, like if having Marvel in there couldn't get me in there, if having Star Wars in there couldn't get me in there, the Darth Vader AI chat box couldn't get me back.
Well,
No, Fortnite has sailed for me. Although, if I'm able to play Fortnite on my Samsung device without going through the Epic Store to pay for stuff, maybe when that lawsuit finally settles, I still would not jump into Fortnite.
fair enough. All right. Well, you've drawn your line. I'm glad you made your boundary set.
Yeah, I mean, besides, I have to like catch up on like all the like seasons 1 through 3 to get to season 4, and who has time for that?
Who has
I
time for
have
that?
other seasons of media to watch.
All right. Anyways,
Anyways, I have an update on games I've been playing.
okay.
Well, two updates. One, I found my next game that I'm playing currently in between waiting for uh everybody's golf, Hot Shots,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and it's Immortals, Phoenix Rising. And I'm still calling it Phoenix and not Phoenix
Oh,
because one, it's a Ubisoft game, so I'm going to say it how I want to say it. But two, just the way it's written out is Phoenix, Fenyx. If you were to call it
uh-huh.
Phoenix, you'd write it down as Phoenix.
Yeah.
Very much a Ubisoft game and
Yeah.
very much inspired by the Breath of the Wild, just open areas, going out and doing
Hmm.
things. I don't really like the map though, and the traversing is very rough, to say the least, and the puzzles
Hmm.
aren't that interesting.
Yeah.
It's just about a fill me in gap time
I agree.
while
I
I'm
played
waiting for something else to come.
Yeah, I played about an hour of this on Game Pass about a year ago and also was very unimpressed by it and uninstalled it.
Right. Also, the bickering between Prometheus and Zeus,
Don't get it.
Wholly unnecessary.
Yeah, no, it's constant. It's constant.
Yes.
Just like I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good, man. But thank you, game. I'm fine.
So that's why I played on like story mode and just like trying to like go through like just the main missions and not do all the side stuff because I'm just not. It's it's just busy work at this point. I just need something to keep my mind from doing other stuff, I guess.
Sure. While
Well,
you
I don't
wait
know.
for
Well,
more
it's a
games.
break from watching all this other media that I'm consuming, which we'll get to later. But
Yes.
other game we talk about is Pokemon Friends. So
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, when Pokemon Direct came out and announced Pokemon Friends, we talked about it. I played a little bit of it at the time, saying, "Oh yeah, this is very easy puzzles." Well,
Mm-hmm.
guess what they did? I've been
What?
doing the so good at these puzzles. They jacked up the difficulty.
Oh,
I'm struggling with these puzzles now.
that's good.
Also, I'm glad I bought the season year pass, $35 for it, because if I was just doing two a day, I would lose my mind, be like, well, okay, that's it. Okay, that's it. And just literally struggling to complete anything in that game between getting all the Pokemon that I want to save in my bins, in boxes to display, as well as all the Pokemon to give away as part of the missions to get more stamps and more trophies and more abilities. It's like there's two different things. It's like to do it just two times a day and then it cuts you off.
Mm,
It feeds off of you wanting to do it 5 times, 10 times, whatever, because everything is so quick that if you do it just the twice, you're done literally in 5 minutes because each thing takes about has a clock going for 1 minute each, three
mm,
times. So that's three, a minute in between, six, done, you're done after like 10 minutes. And it's like, well, I guess that's it. Good have to play it till tomorrow, but no, you gotta buy it. So you just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And yeah,
yep.
I see why they put that
Yep.
warning in the front because if you're a kid and you just do the two and you're done, it's very frustrating to be like, well, I want to jump right back in. I want to do more. I thought I was doing that well. Plus, there's like I said before, there's so many mini games to do that just constantly rotates and rotates and rotates that even once you hit that level 9 on everything, it's still so hard to where I'm finishing it in like 5 seconds, 2 seconds, and the rewards are very random. To where like even if I don't finish it, at least I still get a reward. But there is no rhyme or reason of whatever yarn you're gonna get. So
Right.
it's
Yeah.
so chaotic, so random that if you only do it 2 times a day, you're missing out on so much that it feels like a mountain to climb.
Yeah. No, that's this stuff. Yeah. I just hate how this stuff is set up.
Very predatory. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. And this is what I was talking about last week, and you were the one giving this game or not last week, 2 weeks ago, and you were the
Yes.
one giving this game the benefit of the doubt, and I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, well, having played it for 2 weeks now, yeah, I can say that I'm just like, okay, I got some time here. Let me just keep doing it, and I do it, and then do it, and do it. The next thing you know, half hour is gone. It's like, well, let me see how much I did
Yeah.
because it
Uh,
just goes so fast.
right.
All right, have you been playing anything?
Just dabbling in more Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Hmm.
Trying to finish that up. That game's way longer than I thought it was going to be, honestly. So
Okay,
I still got quite a lot. And
are you? Is
even
it
when I
because you're
finish
doing
it,
everything?
well, well, yes and no. It's so you've played a little bit of Mario Odyssey, right?
Yes,
So it's very similar in the way that it's set up for the bananas, just like how the Odyssey was set up with the moons.
yes.
Moons, yeah, where you can kind of just start wandering around and just start finding stuff and kind of lose track of, oh wait, I was supposed to do the main mission. You kind of just catch yourself just zoning out and just exploring. And that happens in Bonanza just like it did in Odyssey. So in that way, yeah, I'm not mainlining it. I'm not like doing just the main quest because it's kind of impossible because you're welcomed to explore the worlds. Like they're designed for you to check them all out and try to get into every nook and cranny, especially with Bonanza's digging mechanics where you can kind of just start digging and then you just want to keep digging all sorts of directions until you find all the treasure. And yeah, it's just such a cool game. It remains a very very fun time.
Ah, so you're digging it. Got it.
Yes, you could say that.
I did say that.
Mhm.
You can say it too. You're just
Yeah,
choosing not to.
I can. Yeah. Hmm.
All right. Let's get into television then, where we got the sports corner.
Sports Corner.
All right, and it's here. The purest form of baseball has finally arrived. And I'm not talking about the All-Star game or the playoffs.
No.
No, I'm talking about your hometown heroes, the Little League World Series, where the regionals finale are happening this entire week to determine who represents the West, East, Southwest, Southeast, Mountain region, as well as your international competition. Uh, the winners who will go into Williamsport will be crowned this week as the official Little League World Series tournament starts on the 13th, which is next Wednesday. So next time we podcast next week, we will know who will be representing our region in the West. Championship game for the League World Series will be on 8/24 Sunday.
All right.
Where sorry, that's the official championship game where it's the international US versus the international, whereas the US versus US Little League champion is the day before on the 23rd. So it's exciting to watch these kids, and then you're like, ah, oh, I remember that time. And also, yeah, I don't think that kid's 12 because he's walking up at like 5'6" is like, yeah, that kid's maybe too tall there. Someone's cutting some corners. But anyways, it's always fun to watch. It's all the games are on ESPN or ESPN Plus, or you can watch the highlights on YouTube as well. All right. Next up in getting paid to play baseball, we have the trade deadline on Thursday.
Yes.
And the much hated Carlos Carrera has returned from his banishment
Mhm.
to once again go home to Houston to bang on trash cans again.
Yep, pretty much.
The Padres also struck a deal with the A's where it was a 4-2 swing, where the Padres got four players, but the A's did get two pitchers in exchange.
Yeah, but most notably, the Padres probably made the best deal of the day by getting Mason Miller, the
Yep.
A's ace pitcher. So, who really wins there?
I'd say the team that got four players in the trade over two. Yeah. Uh, we also have the Mariners acquiring a third baseman in exchange for three pitchers to the D backs. Those were some of the big trades that I saw. Did you happen to catch anything else?
There were These are pretty much the bigger ones. The Mets also were very active during the day.
Hmm.
Made some deals themselves. I think overall, though, the Padres really made themselves known, which is especially important given that the Dodgers have not been as stellar since the All Star break as they were in the first half, which means that the Padres could have the National League tied up if they're able to utilize these new players in the way that we expect them to. Meanwhile, on the American League side, I think that the moves that the Mariners are doing, or completed, pretty much cooks the AL West. Even Houston, who is currently in the lead, I think is going to have a hard time trying to battle the surging Mariners if they keep going like that. And everybody else, I just think, is going to get buried. So I'm not surprised that teams like the Angels, for example, didn't do a whole lot. They weren't necessarily buyers, only buying a couple of pitchers and an infielder, but they
Hmm.
weren't sellers either. So it kind of leaves them in this no man land where they are just like, yeah, we want to keep the band together, but we also aren't going to make any crazy playoff moves because I think they even know that is an uphill battle against Seattle right now, and I just don't see it happening. So at least the storylines of some parts of the league are a little bit clearer now. Oh yeah, and you don't have it here, but meanwhile, the Milwaukee Brewers just continue to demolish everyone in their sight.
Oh, yeah, I didn't put it here because my boss, who is a Brewers fan, he grew up in the area, continues to remind us of how well they're doing, especially because we have some very strong vocal Cardinals fans in my work.
So yeah, if the Padres don't end up having a surge and like that seem like on paper that they can, I'd say the Brewers might be your World Series contender. I would love to see a Mariners Brewers World Series or a Mariners Padres World Series because, fun fact, all three of those teams have not won the World Series.
Yep.
So it would be a first no matter who wins, and that means everybody wins.
We had a first in the NBA, so could happen
Could
here as
happen.
well.
Could happen.
Also, so side note, the Padres also acquired two a first baseman and outfielder for the Orioles for six unidentified prospects from their D
Yes.
League.
Always fun when they do that.
And then the 2020 Cy Young Award winner,
Mhm.
Mr. Shane Bieber, who
Yes.
technically
Also
hasn't
got
pitched
traded.
since April of last year,
Yes.
was acquired by the Blue Jays from the
Yes.
Guardians.
Also, while we're talking about trade deadline stuff, the Twins decided to get rid of 10, count them, 10 of their roster. So they're pure rebuild. I have never seen a rebuild this rebuildy.
You
And yeah,
mean the
just
entire team was just let go?
practically. So yeah, I bet people in the farm system in Minnesota are very excited to be moving up very soon, if not already.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Over in the NHL, real quick, the Washington Capitals star and current league record holder for most goals, Alex Ovechkin, has partnered with a Russian technology company, Yandex, and its streaming platform, Kinoposk. Kinoposk. I don't know, I'm Russian on that. Kinoposk, to produce a movie, series, or documentary about his NHL career. If you're wondering why Russia, well, just check out the last name, Ovechkin,
Yeah,
and that may tell you something.
that might be a hint. Yes.
But yeah, I'm sure they will be working hard on documenting his. It's not really meteoric rise because he's been in the league for 30 years, but still his ghost chasing ability to pass Wayne Gretzky for all time goals. Not points, however, because assists just wreck everyone with Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
But expect a movie series. Who would play Alex Ovechkin in the upcoming movie? I don't know. But at least his rights have been signed away for, nice pretty penny and executive producer credit. But everything, get out of the way. You have limited time left before the gridiron gets lit. You got
Yes.
18 days till kickoff for the NCAA on the 23rd and 30 days until kickoff for the NFL on September the 4th. It's coming. They're right around the corner, and teams are signing players like the Rams signed Kyron Williams to a 3-year deal, and now he's on my dynasty team, and I can relax thinking, oh, thank God, I don't have to worry about him for another 3 years.
I guess so.
But yes, dynasties, mock drafts, fantasy drafts, all that coming within these next 30 days up until the kickoff. So get in your leagues, get in your draftings, and good luck to all 11 other teams who are going to lose to me.
We'll see.
I got to call my shot now because no one else is going to call it for me.
I guess so. I guess that is how that works.
Yes. All right. Also, WWE SummerSlam happened this past weekend, but due to the recent stance of the WWE, I did not watch.
Oh, it took you this long to finally quit them?
To be fair, I haven't watched any of the other pay-per-views
Yeah,
this
no, that's
past
been the
year.
case for a very long time. They've been very clear about
Yes.
how the people in charge of that thing. I think this is your time to get into AEW. This is your
Yeah.
chance. Yeah, just swap, just switch it over, switch over. I've seen so many people do this. This seems to be the move. It seems like the wrestling's better. Also,
Yeah, they treat their players, employees,
yeah,
the talent with
they actually
respect.
let them. Yeah, it seems like they actually let
Yes.
them do the cool things as opposed to being, you know,
Yes.
stuck
For
in storylines that
storytelling.
they don't want to do. And yeah, exactly. It just seems like a mess.
Yep.
Anyway,
Speaking of messes, let's get to TV news.
yeah. Why don't we? Let's move into a real unfortunate story that unfortunately we have to talk about here. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting. That's the people who help fund your public broadcast stations on television and via radio, alongside viewers like you. You're welcome. Thank you. But unfortunately, that is no longer going to be the case, as the Corporation for Public Broadcasting will be shutting down its operations after the loss of federal funding, marking the end of almost 6 decades as the entity that distributed grants to public media, PBS, and NPR. The majority of staff positions at the corporation will end on September 30th, with a small transition team in place through January of 2026. The CPB had around 100 employees. The announcement, of course, follows the GOP's move to rescind $1.1 billion in federal funding already allocated to the CPB for the next 2 fiscal years. This week, Senate Republicans advanced a funding bill that also included no money for public media, dashing hopes that there would be at least one last ditch restoration of funding. Congress created the CPB way back in 1967 as a private nonprofit to shepherd federal money to stations and other public media outlets. The idea was to shield the entity, this is funny now, from political interference. Um,
Ah,
yeah, so here's the thing. This does not mean that NPR or PBS will be going away. It just means that their existence is going to be purely based on financial gifts from corporations, from sponsors, and from viewers and listeners. So if you are somebody who really loves listening to NPR or watching PBS programming, this is your chance to put your money where your mouth is, to borrow their term that they always say during pledge drives, and fund it. Like, help fund it. Get a subscription. Our household here, we have a PBS subscription that's give us access to their app's passport feature, which is basically a streaming option for all of their programming, which is really cool. So the options are out there if you like their content and you want to continue viewing or listening to it, because otherwise this will take out a good basically millions of dollars of their budget every year. Will just be is just gone now. It just disappeared. And so yeah, this is just you're just gonna have to help them help themselves and help you, because they're not gonna have that governmental funding to fall back on anymore.
right. $1.1 billion in federal funding taken away. Although, if what the administration is doing is looking at it as a company, it says it right there in 1967 that it's a private non-profit
Mm-hmm.
for federal money. Means it's not supposed to bring in money. It's not supposed to be profitable. So
Yeah.
if it says it's losing money, it's not. It's a service. It's not
Right.
profit. It's not
See.
non-profitable. We're non-profitable. Okay. This separate.
Yeah, no,
We don't
yeah,
have
this
government funding us.
it's a perfect example of just like this misunderstanding of what's supposed to be a public good and what's not supposed to. Yeah, not everything has to be run like a business. Not everything has to make money and have growth and have new subscribers all the time. Some things can just exist as a public good, and some things were supposed to be created to be immune to this kind of sway. And it's just, yeah, it's just unfortunate to see this happen, especially as someone who does listen to a lot of public radio and enjoys a lot of public programming on PBS. And it sucks that all these people are going to be out of their jobs too at the corporate public broadcasting corporation. So it's like, yeah, this just sucks. Like, in like so many ways for so many people, and I think generations will be affected by this change.
I mean, they will be affected by many changes this government
Yeah,
is currently doing.
turns out.
And I will not be surprised if this is the last time we talk about government interference, because we talked about it last week
Yeah,
with the approval of the Skydance, and then 2 weeks before that
right.
with the pulling of the Late Show, or sorry, the
Yes.
Late Show.
The
Let's
late
use all
show.
right.
Yeah, just the one.
Yes, only one late.
Just the one late.
Yes,
But yeah,
but when you have a story of the year just slowly brewing right in front of you, it's hard to ignore,
unfortunately,
no matter
yeah,
how bad it is.
it looks like that kind of vibe,
All
unfortunately for
right.
us.
Well, I want to
Anyway,
change the vibe.
yeah, let's change the vibe. We're gonna pause on your thoughts because you're going to record a whole show about those
Well,
as a
now
part of
hold on.
the show.
Did you finish
That's why
You
I
did
finished
not
it.
finish Stick?
No, we did.
What episode are you on?
You act like we watch at the same television show every day, which is not true.
Well, to be fair, we binge watched it because
Yeah, no, we did
I
not.
texted you and said, "Does Christy
Yeah,
like this?" And
Christy
then we
loves it. Yeah.
watched all 10 episodes from that
So
text.
I'm guessing you guys liked it too.
Yes, we finished it in the 3 days since I sent you that text.
Well, there you go. Good for you. No, I did not finish it yet. So we're gonna have
All
to table that. But you can talk about it all you want on your show.
right, I'll buy a separate episode.
Yes.
Okay, well, I guess I should talk about it then because I'll also be talking about the other golf thing that happened, Happy Gilmore 2, and how
Yes.
one does golf really well, the other one does not.
Interesting. Okay. I have an assumption that I can make about which one is which, but I'm not gonna say it here. Anyway,
Uh, the results may actually surprise you.
maybe it will actually surprise me. Anyway, let's move on then, if we're going to skip your thoughts, to cancellations and renewals.
What am I no longer watching?
Well, you're soon going to be no longer watching, and just like that, on HBO Max, as they are going to cancel it after its third upcoming season. So, yes, they will have a limited time left on it. So,
I believe it
enjoy
just
the.
aired its third season, did it not?
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it had aired yet. But yeah. So yeah, enjoy the Sex and the City girls while you still got them, I guess.
Yeah, well, they're still on HBO Max
Yep.
because who knows anymore.
Who knows? All right, next. Netflix. Over on Netflix, they have canceled Fubar after 2 seasons.
It's been
Only,
Fubard.
yeah, it's been Fubar. And they've brought back Long Story Short for a second season.
That's ahead of its premiere later this month.
Gotcha.
Uh, I saw the trailer for it. I don't know if I like that animation,
That happens, doesn't it?
but it's also from the same people who did BoJack Horseman, so that may
Mm.
also be why, because I didn't really enjoy that animation either.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I might check this out then, because that actually sells me. So we'll
Oh,
see.
okay, so you're the opposite on
All
that.
right. And then lastly, on network television, NBC will be bringing back American Ninja Warrior for a 18th season. It just keeps going.
Ah, yes, the MXC duplicate
I
Americanization.
I remember way back when this was a G4 show before it was tossed around the Comcast networks until finally it landed on network television.
Yeah,
Yeah,
MXC
it
before
was a
it was
long
Ninja
time ago.
Warrior.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, let's move on to one death we got to talk about real quick here. Jonathan Kaplan, age 77, was the director of several films, including The Accused and Project X,
Yes, the
which I have not
movie
seen.
Project X, not the
Yes.
documentary
No, not the
about the
documentary
Project
about the
X.
real thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Which, yeah, I had explained that to Christy the other day because she did not remember Project X at all. And I had to
The
tell her.
movie or the event?
Either. Apparently, she didn't know either happened. So there you go. All right. Anyway, lastly, on the show today, we'll talk about movies, and we always start the movies section with the weekend box office numbers. As a reminder, you were out last week, so we did not have a bet. I discussed on my show how I lost again because I
Yes.
keep getting stuck with the over, but it's
Well,
fine.
to be fair, you purposely chose the over the week
Before that,
before.
but this time I didn't.
Yes.
Just want to make that clear. But yeah, I lost again. Fantastic Four did worse than it should have, but also not as bad as I thought. So yeah, it ended
Well,
up
don't
being
worry.
kind
It
of
did worse in its second weekend.
it did
Well,
much
third
worse in its
weekend.
second weekend or
Yes,
third
sec
weekend. Yeah, because your number one movie is Fantastic Four: First Steps, but to the tune of only $38 million. So that means that it's coming in this week domestic under 200 still. So that's going to be a weird one for Disney to navigate if it's already dropped that low. So
Mhm.
we'll see. Coming in number two, DreamWorks is The Bad Guys 2. Reasonable performance considering it's what it was up against with $22 million in its first weekend. Number three, the maybe surprise of the summer here, the Naked Gun remake, making $16 million, which is reasonable for the kind of comedy it is. Honestly, being on this top five at all is very heartening because I thought it was going to be a pop star and just completely implode.
Right.
But no, word of mouth, I think, is spreading on this thing. And I definitely am going to try to see it this weekend because all I've heard is how funny this thing is.
I've heard
I'm
stay through
very
the
excited.
credits because there's credit jokes, just like the original Naked
Yes.
Gun.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
it's by Akiva Schaffer, and yes, Seth
Yes.
MacFarlane is technically an executive producer, but that's in
But
company
stop.
production only, not in writing.
Yeah, no, he has no fingerprints on the actual script, which is good news. But yeah, I'm sold. I'm like really excited to see this now.
Yeah,
Coming in at number.
I'll see it probably not this weekend because I'm out on vacation,
Ooh,
so I probably won't see it by the time we book theaters to help support comedies like the movie. But
indeed,
speak,
is definitely with another 13 million. See that at the end of the year for sure when we talk about the best lead. 7 million this week, really pulling its weight. The other $6.7 million in its debut.
yeah, that's the Allison Brie, Dave Franco together
Mm-hmm.
couple together movie together, which I guess was technically based off a different idea because they're being sued about it. And that's a hilarious lawsuit.
Whoops.
So we have not talked about that. We're not
No.
going to talk about it because until it actually goes to trial, it's just they're being sued for it.
All right. Fair enough. Then, as for new releases, we have three very different films coming out this weekend. First up, My Mother's Wedding.
I says it's gonna she's in the lead here, competing with the other two movies
Otherwise, I don't know
here.
what it is.
But it looks terrifying, and I'm all in on
By
it.
the
Or non-abductions.
I got overheating again. Freakier 2000s freaking. So
It
that
has
is
been that long. I think Freakier Friday is going to be your number one movie just because it has the neck recognition. It's got Lindsay Lohan who, not at least make. Do you want to go?
that's probably this is really rough. If I would really like to see for you to see what I'm seeing and hearing.
Oh
Yeah, I
yes,
think
I
that
can hear what you're hearing and see.
ooh, boy. But yeah, it's rough. But yeah, yeah, you're probably right. That's probably your number one movie. As for number, if we're already down in the 30s, I think that's probably where we'll stay. Um, I don't know. Where do you want to go, like with this, 35 or 40?
Well, see, I was thinking 25, but we could do 30.
25. Okay. I'll do it again. I'll do over again. Fifth time in a row.
Okay. If you're because you seem pretty confident on that 30. So
I
you're
don't know. It just feels like if you're the remember we guess under like where Lilo and Stitch landed because we were so like we didn't consider the millennial of it all, and this time I'm considering the millennial of it all. I think there's an audience for this that will be chomping at the bit, champing at the bit. I think champing is the actual term
camping.
for a new Lindsay Lohan vehicle that evokes nostalgia.
All right. Freaky Friday plus 25 for you.
All right. Okay, cool. So next we get to wrap up this show, which is good news because technologically it is on its way out. So we're gonna do some movie news for you, and the movie news story this week takes us to the world of Netflix, and is just really about how I have great taste, and I was right.
I'm sorry. You were what now?
Yeah, I was right about this at least, not about the box office stuff in general, but about this at least is I was right about how good of a movie has now become what Netflix is looking at a as a franchise. That's what we're talking about now because this week K-pop Demon Hunters has become Netflix's most watched animated film in the platform's history, just over 1 month since its release. Per Netflix's own viewership data, K-pop Demon Hunters has spent 6 weeks in the site's top 10, racking up a staggering 26,300,000 total views and 43,900,000 hours watched. Meanwhile, Adam Sandler's long gestating sequel, Happy Gilmore 2, which you will talk about on your special recording tomorrow, teed off with big viewership numbers, ranking it number one on the Netflix list of top 10 English language movies. I like how they have to be more specific there, which is just makes me laugh because it's like,
They
well,
do a lot of
it
like
didn't do
international
better
stuff
than
and
it
like South Korea stuff too.
right. It didn't do better than
Squid Game.
actual
They
like
account for Squid Game and everything now.
yeah they do. For the week of July 21st through 27th, Happy Gilmore 2 generated 46.7 million views over 3 days, with views defined as total hours watched divided by the total runtime. So between those two, Netflix has a couple of juggernauts coming out. But yeah, you don't have the other piece of this story that I read this week, which is Netflix is now so hot on K-pop
Yeah, they
Demon
wanted two to
Hunter's
three.
success that they're going to do not only sequels but a possible live action remake of it already, and also a maybe even a stage musical version, which is so perfect because Christy and I were talking about that while we were watching it and being like, this would really work as a musical. Like this it's already done. Like they don't have to do
To be
much.
fair, that article bases its thoughts of what's going to happen because of what Frozen did and the Frozen
Mm-hmm.
success of Frozen. So that this is Netflix's Frozen, that it's
Could
going to
be
be a money
okay.
generator for them, that it's going to be everywhere, that they're going to merchandise the hell out of
Mm-hmm.
it.
Another thing that
Although
they
it is
should
still a Sony property.
yeah. Another thing they can consider here, which I think would be a surefire good idea, though it's not exactly Netflix's, bread and butter, is putting this thing out in theaters because just for maybe a limited engagement would be really, really key. Like as maybe a sing along, like fan viewing, like they've done with Disney stuff and with Wicked most recently. I think that would be perfect for this movie. Just get it out there, get people in theaters, make a bunch of money with them just singing their hearts out to the soundtrack.
Yeah, I think you do the sing along because that's going to help
Mhm.
the environment and space that the movie theater's in rather than just putting it sing along on home
Yeah.
or on Netflix, just
I
in your
mean,
home.
do both, really, do both.
Oh yes,
But
do both eventually, but say, hey, it's coming to theaters for a 2 week Fandango, whatever limited engagement where you
Fandango.
do a sing along.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, that's a good idea. Thank you,
yes.
me. Pat
Checks
myself
are in the
on the
mail.
back. Anyway,
Uh, but yeah, this is still a Sony animation property. They still have Spider-Verse, uh, Beyond the Spider-Verse to work on. There
speaking of
was
long
also
gestating,
there was also a story earlier this week that they want to do a spin-off Spider-Punk movie from that world, featuring Daniel Kaluuya's Spider-Punk. So issues that they work on that as well. They work on the K-pop Demon Hunters 2 and 3 and make it a twofer back-to-back sequel. But yeah, Sony Animation, they got something cooking over there. More than and all this was funded from the Emoji Movie.
yeah. I suppose you're right.
Same studio.
All right. Anyway, that's it for movie news. As mentioned, you have movie thoughts that will be tabled until you're recording yourself. Make sure you have a fan pointed at your laptop for that one. I recommend it. Uh,
Yes, I'll be talking about the Fantastic Four, First Steps, Happy Gilmore 2, Death of a Unicorn, and the Phoenician Scheme.
all right. So look forward to that on your podcast feeds and maybe in video form on your YouTube channel. I don't know. What were you thinking there? You were going to do a video?
Yeah, I was gonna do a video.
All right. Fair enough. Okay. Thank you for joining us then. That'll be it for the Media Boat podcast this week. If you would like to watch us in video form, you can go to YouTube and search Media Boat Podcast to find our channel. Like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications when new videos go live. You can also catch us in audio form on podcast services by searching podcast services for Media Boat Podcast. You can find us on the web, MediaBoatPodcast.com, where our archive of shows is. You can catch us social media platforms such as Blue Sky if you search Media Boat Podcast there. And you can find Mike occasionally playing video games on twitch.tv/MediaBoat. And definitely last but not least, if you have questions, comments, feedback about the show, anything you want to ask us, please email us at mediaboatpodcast@gmail.com. All right, that'll do it. We'll see you guys next week for another episode. Like I said, stay tuned for a new podcast with Mike's thoughts, but otherwise, we will see you next time.
Yep, I'll be back with a half episode before we get to the penultimate
Yes.
episode.
Well, no, it's not. We're
Oh,
not ending. We're not ending the show at 500 unless that's what you have planned this whole time.
well, no,
So
it's
it's
the
not
penultimate
penultimate.
of the 400s.
Sure. Okay. All right. See you then.
All right, bye.
Bye.